You know, most people would be horrified at the, I'm going to show you. See it? I hope you can see it. The massive giant cobweb that's over my Hoya. But I'm going to leave it there for at least for a while, because if there are any flying bugs, which there are, I don't want them on my plants. This Hoya is over 30 years old, and I've had so many plants of it. They're so easy to strike. I've given loads and loads away. Look, it's coming into bloom. Right. So, hi there. So I'm just making up my jollop. I've got jollop, a homemade jollop. Now this jollop is bicarb. I've already done it. Now I've got this copper stain on my bathtub because it's really, really old, and it's got copper taps and the copper. I don't know why I even keep the bathtub, but it's because it's vintage, isn't it? I never have a bath. I always have a shower. But anyway, so there's copper stains on the actual bathtub because the bathtub is so old that it's lost quite a lot of its enamel, you know. But anyway, it's really old. So it's had this copper stain on for ages, you know, where the tap is coming down like that. And you see that on really old sinks and bathtubs that have got real proper copper taps. You know, the taps now that are just copper coated if you know, got that kind of tap. But in the old days, they were solid copper. And that's what these are, really old. But anyway, so I remembered a granny, you know, a great granny recipe for getting stains out of copper stains out of things. And what it is, it's bicarbonate of soda and vinegar. That's all it is. Now, I've tried everything. I've tried bleach. I've tried, you know, the cream cleaner. I even desperately tried WD-40. I thought, I'll give it a try. It can't do any harm, can it? Nothing worked. Not even neat bleach, loads and loads of neat bleach on it. Didn't work at all. And I remembered that this is a great grandma thing that great grandma used to use, but because they always had copper stains on their sinks and things, didn't they? Anyway, bicarbonate of soda, 1 tablespoon of that, and you just use vinegar. I use cider vinegar because I've got that, but you can just use ordinary vinegar, and you make a paste in a cup or something, and then you smear it on. And I'm telling you, it works. It really works. There's a faint, it's been there for years, mine, the copper stain, but there's a faint copper stain on it. But I've only done it once, so I'm going to do it again. Okay, right, that is that. Now, I'm going to save you a lot of money with this. This is for black spot on roses, right? Using, again, bicarbonate of soda. So I used 1 tablespoon of bicarbonate of soda, and I used 1 teaspoon of fairy liquid, you know, washing liquid, dishwashing liquid, and you mix that in with I mixed it with about half of a watering can full, and then I put it into containers. Black spot. Now, this spot remedy stuff in nurseries and shops and things, it's really, really expensive, and I'm talking expensive. I had been looking out for it, but I'm glad I didn't bother. And I remembered there's I love natural remedies, and I remember my great grandmother. She was my great grandmother was the village wise woman, and she was the village midwife before there was any NHS, doctors. And she used to deliver people's babies. And she was called Martha. She was a character, all right, because she had like an allotment, and she grew all her own herbs and remedies, and people used to go to her for a remedy for something like earache or a cut or something, and she knew the herb to use, and she used, and I remember this from my grandmother passing it down. That it pass things down, don't they? And this was the rose, for black spots. Now, I've used it and it works. I can assure you it works. So that's 1 tablespoon of the bicarbonate of soda and 1 teaspoon of washing liquid, whatever kind that you want to use. It's all the same because, it's pretty much all the same. So that is for the black spot. Right. Yeah, great grandma, what a character. She used to grow all her herbs and flowers and things in big long lines, you know, in her garden allotment. And she used to sell the potions and lotions. She used to make like creams and salves and things like that. And she used to sell them to people that came wanting a cure for something. And like I said, she was also the village midwife. And she used to provide her services and get stuff in return. Like, say she delivered a baby, and say that the husband of the woman having the baby, say he worked in a coal yard, he would get coal on the cheap, and he would pay for the delivery with coal. Or the woman could have been a really good, she could be a baker, or the husband could have been a baker, and they paid her in bread and cakes and things like that. And that's how it worked in those days, Victorian days. But the moral of the story is the jollop. The jollop works, I can assure you. So this jollop works with the copper on the bath, and this is the black spot jollop, and that works. Now, I've got another jollop. This one, what did I use for that? Oh, yeah, right. I used garlic. I used garlic and washing up liquid fairy I used. And you make what I use, a tablespoon of garlic and a teaspoon of the fairy liquid, and just mix it in a cup and then add it to water, and you've got your spray. Make sure you well dilute it. And you've got, now that is for black fly and green fly on your roses, or on anything else for that matter, in your greenhouse or whatever. So there we are. So that's just a little bit of a natural remedies that you can try out, and believe you me, it works. It really works. Last year I had a horrendous problem with black spot. And with black spot, another thing, if you can do it, don't take the affected leaves off first. Take those off, and you'll find you just touch them and they fall off. Okay. While the going's good and you've got some good growth on your roses, take the black spot bits off, and give them a good spray with your jollop. And also, if you can, clear around, if there's any dead leaves with black spot on, clear them out, get rid of them. And if you can, put a layer of mulch, like you can either use leaves or you can use uh, wood chip bark if you've got that, anything like that. A thick layer of mulch on the ground after you've done it. So it stops the spores coming back to the leaves on the roses. So there you are. So I hope you have a go at it. It's dead simple. Dead simple. Copper stains is the bicarbonate of soda and vinegar. You can use any vinegar. Make a paste, smear it on, leave it, and then give it a bit of a clean afterwards. And if it's not gone entirely, do it again. And it will go. I was absolutely amazed. Black spot jollop is your 1 tablespoon of the bicarbonate of soda and 1 teaspoon of the fair liquid with about half a watering can full of water. Mix that up and then put it into containers in your greenhouse. That lasts me all summer, and I'll just keep doing it from time to time. Just keep, especially if you've had rain, do it after the rain again. And your green fly and black fly jollop is your garlic and your washing up liquid. So presumably you would have all those ingredients in your cupboard. So I'll say bye for now, and as always, love from the land of mist and legend and the cottage. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.